And we're back. 5:29 is the time. Here's a live look here at two locations. One, our roof camera looking at the downtown financial district in San Francisco, the Transamerica building there. And on the right-hand side, a shot of the Golden Gate Bridge this morning. Both of them beautiful pictures. But it is cool out there. We'll get the latest with the forecast in just a moment. But we do want to first start off in the traffic center. Drew Harmon following a hotspot. Morning, Drew.
Good morning, James. Yes, indeed. Following a problem on BART, causing delays now of about 30 minutes in both directions headed from Walnut Creek. BART officials initially reported an obstruction on the track. Now it may be actually a trackside equipment problem because of a power issue. BART now reporting that they are having to single track trains through the area because of this problem. And because of that, we're seeing 30-minute delays in both the directions from Walnut Creek headed towards San Francisco, and also delays headed from the Lafayette station in the Pittsburgh Bay Point direction. BART officials are saying that all other trains within the system on all other lines are currently on time. In the meantime, we are still seeing delays of about 30 minutes now headed from Walnut Creek and the Lafayette station in both directions. Give yourself some extra time if you have to use BART in either of those directions on that line, as things are going to continue to be moving slowly. Even once they get that issue corrected, it's going to take quite a bit of time for the residual delay to work its way through. Right now we are seeing delays again of about 30 minutes in both directions on this line because of an obstruction and a trackside equipment problem because of a power issue. Spot is BART, where we are seeing a delay headed from the Walnut Creek station of up to 30 minutes in both directions because of a trackside power issue. James?
All right, Drew, thank you much. We'll check in again with you a little bit for an update on that. In the meantime, since we're talking about traffic, let's talk about cars this morning. The Senate approved that additional $2 billion package for the Cash for Clunkers program. So the program is back in working order again. It's been hugely popular. Did you know 184,000 deals were submitted for approval through this program? It's 184,000 transactions, new cars being purchased. And that spike in car sales has manufacturers this morning rushing to meet demand. Nicole Collins is in Washington now with the latest on the program and where we go from here.
Cash for Clunkers gets a fill-up.
The bill is passed.
The United States Senate voted 60-37 to pump $2 billion more into the rebate program, which blew through its initial $1 billion in funding in its first week.
The reason we were able to succeed was because consumers and the American people really like this program.
This California Toyota dealership estimates nearly 300 cars sold over the past 2 weeks.
It's not slowing down.
It's estimated the extra funding should be enough to keep the program running through at least Labor Day.
This will be a great weekend to go out and buy an automobile.
Buyers should keep the following in mind. You can get up to $4,500 for trading in a gas guzzler, but you're required to put that money toward the purchase of a more fuel-efficient vehicle. Trade-ins must be less than 25 years old, and there can be no liens on the title.
Come pick you up and get you gas.
The program may be wildly popular among consumers and auto dealers, but critics say it isn't fair to help one industry over another.
It's not a bad thing to encourage the economy to work, but for the federal government to be trying to pick winners and losers, what about appliance dealers and TV manufacturers and heat pumps?
This is likely the last Clunkers extension Congress will give. President Obama is expected to sign it into law as soon as today. In Washington, I'm Nicole Collins.
All right, now also the latest details coming out of out of Burbank. That's where those two American journalists landed yesterday. Former President Bill Clinton was the one who got them freed. Up to this point, the family hasn't said much. They've sort of taken this time to sort of get together and just celebrate the fact that they've been reunited. But Lisa Ling, the sister of Laura Ling, who was one of those two journalists, it was Laura Ling and Yuna Lee who were the ones held captive in North Korea. Lisa Ling has come out now with her first interview, and she sort of explains a little bit about what the two have endured so far. Take a listen.
It's interesting because I think that when you are in such isolation, you do what you have to do. She read a lot. We were able to send her books, and she, for exercise, she said that she walked around her room, like just, for sometimes hours in a day, and bathing was a little bit difficult because they didn't have hot water, and the water was sporadic, so she would fill up buckets, and she would say, like, okay, on Saturday I'm going to wash my hair, and like little things like that. You just have to sort of plan and adapt to a new version of normalcy.
Wow. Well, Lisa also said that the two American journalists, her sister and Yoona Lee, were apparently captured just seconds after setting foot on North Korean soil, almost as if somebody was watching them. And as soon as they set foot on North Korean soil, the guns came out, the soldiers revealed themselves, and they brought the two women into custody. They had been detained, of course, for 140 days. And as we said, it was former President Bill Clinton who went out there and secured their release on Wednesday. All right, 5:35 is the time. Let's get over to the Weather Center again on this Friday, get a look at the forecast for today and the weekend ahead. Good morning, Evelyn Taft.
Good morning, James Fletcher. We're taking a look at Storm Tracker 4, starting off with today's forecast, getting to the weekend forecast, and that warming continues into the work week. James.
All right, thank you very much, Evelyn. And this just into the KRON 4 newsroom. We were waiting for the latest jobless numbers to come out from the Labor Department. They've just come in here in the last few minutes. I wanted to read some of it off the raw wire for you. It turns out that employers didn't lay off as many people as had been expected. In fact, they only cut 247,000 jobs. It sounds like a lot, but that's actually fewer than has been cut in a year, as a matter of fact. And beyond that, the unemployment rate now, according to the Labor Department, dipped to 9.4%. Analysts, before this report came out, were expecting the unemployment rate, which was at 9.5, to jump up to 9.6. So this is really blowing the minds of a lot of analysts on Wall Street right now that the unemployment rate has actually fallen. And so this could be a sign, a strong signal, as a matter of fact, that the recession is finally ending. That Labor Department report, obviously a shot in the arm, a boost of confidence. The markets will open for trading in about 50 minutes from right now. So we'll see what investors think of all this, and we'll see where stock prices go once the opening bell rings. All right, from here, let's give you a quick update again on Twitter. Some new details coming out this morning. That cyber attack that began yesterday apparently still affecting the website here and there. Twitter officially says their site's back up and running, but because of that denial of service attack yesterday and it's still affecting the website, your connection to Twitter might be affected sporadically. So you might be able to log on and then maybe you'll kicked off for a little bit, then you can get back on again. So it's spotty at best, but they're working to get it all cleared up so that you can get continual access to Twitter without any problems. But just to let you know, they're still facing some sporadic outages here and there this morning. All right, 5:39 the time. We've got to take another break, but we'll be back with more in just a moment. Let's go outside, give you a live look from our roof camera. This morning, the sun beginning to rise. We're seeing the silhouette of the city a whole lot better now against that blue sky, and things are going to be nice and cool this morning. They'll warm up this afternoon, and if you're a fan of the warmth and heat, you're going to love this weekend. Temperatures on the rise. We'll tell you more about it in just a little bit.